Are you a good guy or a bad guy? The answer might surprise you. Hi, welcome to 5 Minute Fika, where we find the time to do a little self-care of the soul by thinking about true and beautiful things. Well, there are all kinds of people in the world, and one time when I was in Albania, somehow I got appointed to be the one that was the point of contact with someone from the Kosovar embassy, because they were going to be donating a whole bunch of medicine and umbrellas to the orphanage. Well, the gentleman I met with was very nice. One day we were having coffee after a meeting, and he started telling me that he actually, instead of just working for the Kosovar embassy, he was a high-ranking general in the KLA, the Kosovar Liberation Army, which at the time was considered a terrorist organization. They had gotten orders and they were going back the next day, and he was going to go back to his family. He missed his wife and his kids, and he loved them very much, and he loved his country, and he just wanted to fight for his country. And it was very interesting. I learned a lot through those interactions and trying to sort of resolve with myself. Was he a good guy? He loved his family, he loved his country, he was very kind, he was very generous. Or was he a bad guy? You know, he worked for the KLA, which was, again, considered a terrorist organization at the time. It was definitely a matter of opinion, depending on which side you fell with Kosovar conflict. But at the end of the day, I think we all sort of struggle with this, don't we? I think we have this innate thing inside of us that we want to categorize people. We like to look at things in a very sort of black and white way. They're either good or they're bad. And we do this with people, I think. People that we don't like or people that we disagree with, we tend to paint them with this brush that everything about them is wrong. People that we do like, that we do agree with, we paint them this brush that everything about them is right. The dangerous thing about this is that I don't know that anybody really is completely a good guy or a bad guy. We're not one-dimensional characters without feelings and temptations and thoughts and ideas and nuance. We're these complete beings as humans. And I believe that for all of us, there are things about us that are good and there are things about us that are not great. There isn't anyone that is so right that nothing they do is wrong. No human. And there isn't anyone who is so wrong that they don't have the potential or the possibility to have any redeeming qualities. And I think we're living in this world where we immediately make snap judgments. And what it does is it sets us up to be disappointed or heartbroken or disillusioned when someone we hold up as a hero has a bad quality, or they make a bad decision, or they do something that we disagree with. Our response is typically to either ignore it or to then move them from the good guy category to the bad guy category with nothing in between. Or if there's someone that we disagree with, then we never give them the opportunity to have any redeeming qualities. We never give them the opportunity to earn our approval or earn our respect. We don't even consider that there's anything redeemable about them. And this, I believe, is at the root, one of the roots, of a lot of the conflict going on in our world today. You know, in most hostage negotiations or in any kind of negotiation, what they tell you is that the first thing to do is to establish common ground. And that's the thing, is that we have common ground with everyone, with every human. Somewhere we have something in common with everyone out there. We're all in the same boat. We all deal with the same emotions. We all are trying to make decisions and trying to find our way in the world. And when we don't give people a chance because we just write them off as a bad guy, we miss the opportunity to learn from them. Maybe you struggle with this with yourself. A lot of people deal with their own shame and their own frustration with themselves, and they think that there's no redeeming quality about them. Or they think that they're only so good that everything they do is right and they can't ever do anything wrong, and so anything wrong in their world is someone else's fault. At the end of the day, we have to face the fact that there's good, there's amazing, there's capacity for incredible greatness in each one of us. But there's also this tendency to make bad decisions, this tendency to not live up to our own expectations, let alone anyone else's. And being able to have a little grace for the people in our lives and for ourselves is really important for us to be able to function as a healthy community, for us to be able to move forward as a society, for us to be able to have peace with one another, to find the common ground, and recognize that someone who believes differently or thinks differently, they're not inherently bad, that everything about them is bad. something about them is wonderful. And those people that we put up on a pedestal and we say, oh, they can't do anything wrong, we're just setting them up for a fall, because of course they're going to make mistakes. They're human. We're all human. And having grace for ourselves and grace for one another is what's going to help us move forward and be healthy in our relationships and stop having unnecessary conflict. Let's be honest with each other and honest with ourselves about who we are. Let's give each other a little grace. Let's hold each other accountable and hold each other to high standards, but let's give grace when we don't live up to them. This is important because it's the only life we have, and it's good to be alive, and you are not in this alone, and you, my darling, are spectacular. Have a great day.